Up next, we are going to hear from our fifth and final contestant, ProAgni.
How would it be if red meat producers had the tools to decrease methane emissions and antibiotic use? What if those tools made producers more profitable? At ProAgni, we make those tools. Hi, I'm Lachlan Campbell, CEO and co-founder. Our team's been together for nearly 5 years, brings together passionate ag professionals with backgrounds as diverse as nuclear medicine, investment banking, and animal nutrition. And it all started with kangaroos. They are the gold standard in feed efficiency, produce little or no methane without any antibiotics. Cattle and kangaroos are foregut fermenters. So what if cattle could mimic kangaroos? 5 years ago, ProAgni started to answer those questions. The key to our technology is anaerobic bacteria in the rumen. They are 95% of the microbiome. However, being anaerobic make them nearly impossible to commercialise. Collaborating with academic institutions, we've developed a patent-pending technology platform that produces a range of shelf-stable anaerobic probiotics. Now, the ability to commercialise anaerobic bacteria is unique and can be applied to bacteria that we've identified that manage lactic acid, improve feed efficiency, or literally eat methane before it leaves the animal. Using lactic acid species, independent benchtop trials have shown that the technology works. And in field trials, we've reduced the transition time for cattle from grass to grain by 75%, 21 days down to 3, all healthy, all putting on weight. For farmers, this saves nearly $100 a head without antibiotics. Methane reducing species are next. Our first product launched in 2018 addressed antibiotic use. Protectus has been scientifically validated to provide 20% faster growth on 20% less feed without using in-feed antibiotics. It sold over $3.5 million at retail, fed over 1 million animals, and removed over 1,000 kilos of antibiotics from feed. Our margin is 12 cents per head per day. Just one 250,000 head feedlot is nearly $11 million contribution margin. That's less than 1% of the US feedlot market. Production is readily scalable. Protect is sold nationally through partnerships with feed manufacturers that license our IP. It is scientifically validated, including trials at West Texas A&M, and has no significant regulatory hurdles for markets internationally. We are starting our Series A raise to launch Protect into the US, where we have strong existing relationships. It will also fund the commercialisation and the launch of the probiotic. Also, we are seeking partnerships with existing suppliers to the cattle industry to speed up market penetration. Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. Warren, let's hand you over to Purnima for Q&A.
Thanks, Jillian. Nice presentation. Let's talk about competition. Who are your competitors? How are you differentiating your business and your offerings from others in this space?
The antibiotic use and methane production in the red meat system are such huge issues and address such a large market that we have and will always have competitors. Basically, we try and distinguish ourselves in 3 ways. One, which is counterintuitive, is we don't pitch about antibiotic use or methane reduction. What we pitch is improving the economics of your farm. So the pitch is you, the producer, can make more money right now. You don't have to wait for a carbon market. You don't even need to care about these as social issues. We've also invested significantly in scientific validation, generally with independent third parties, and IP protection. But the core thing of this is, particularly with the probiotic, the problem that we've solved, which interestingly was referred to as the dreaded cold chain problem, is not an easy problem to solve. And that provides, I think, significant competitive differentiation.
My next question for you is, what are some of the biggest challenges that have been imposed by COVID? Can you comment on some of the business challenges as well as others that you've been solving?
Yeah, COVID's been kind of swings and roundabouts for us. Like, on one level, we were poised to start some large industry trials in the US, and that didn't happen. On another level, it's much easier hooking up with senior executives for a 1-hour Zoom than to trek to South Dakota and build a week-long trip around it. I think one of the things that COVID has done to us is the urgent and chronic nature of that problem, acute nature of that problem, has really pushed antimicrobial resistance into the background. And what we expect is that when COVID kind of goes away, that issue, which is kind of home base for us, will seriously come back.
Got it. Thanks, Warren. Last question. You're raising a Series A. What are you going to do with your funds? And can you comment specifically also on build versus expand?
Yes. So our first step is to expand into the US market with our existing product. So that's scientifically validated, has a big footprint here, makes massive inroads into antibiotic use in red meat production. We need to finalize the commercialization steps for launch of our probiotic. And our approach to build versus partner is it really depends on circumstances. So our existing model is we partner with feed manufacturers, they pay us a royalty, and we go from there. As products get more complex, we might need to own more of that chain. But I mean, ideally, we'd like to own as little as possible and partner with others.